I've been a professional musician my entire life, and I was in the recording studio with a rather high-profile client that one day in 2008, and I received a call from my girlfriend at the time, and she just wanted to know, hey, when you get home tonight, can we talk? And I said, yeah, sure. Is everything okay? She assured me that everything was perfectly fine. Yes, everything was great. I went, wrapped up the session and went home, and she wasn't there. She just was nowhere to be found. She wasn't answering her phone. She wasn't replying to text messages. So of course I'm getting very worried. Basically, she ghosted me. Now, for people that don't know what that means, it just means that she cut off all communication with me. And I didn't really understand why, because she sounded really happy when she called me earlier that day. So then in 2018, okay, 10 years after that night, I got a Facebook Messenger, text message that said, and it was her. And she said, hi, Elliot. It's been a long time. Can we talk a little later tonight? We're on the phone, and I said, what happened to you? Whatever happened all those years ago, and why are you looking me up now? And she proceeded to tell me that, well, when I called you, the reason why I sounded so happy is because I had done 2 home pregnancy tests, and I was pregnant, and this was something that we were trying for. So she had great news to share. Now, during the few hours between when she called me at the studio and when I got home, she was just sitting on this news, and she called her mother. Her mom and dad and her family, they lived a few states away. But she called her mom, and she told her mom the news that she was pregnant. And her mother said, honey, that's great news, but you need to come home. This is really big news. You should be around your family. She went on to explain that when she got to her family home, her mother was just ecstatic, super happy. But her father was not. He was actually extremely angry. That time I had really long hair, and I had a tie-dye t-shirt on, and, electric guitar, and I'm on stage. And so she takes this picture out, she shows it to her dad. And her dad just took one look at this photo and says, no way, you are not having this man's child. And he, being the abusive man that he was, he actually threatened her, and he said, if you try to leave, I'll find you. If you try to leave, I'll make sure that, you regret it, things like that. He threatened her verbally. So after being held hostage there in her family home, her father, one day, he was in his office, and he just got really drunk. And at this point, she was nearly 6 months pregnant, and he came out of his office just drunk as a skunk, with a gun in his hand, and he pointed the gun at her and said, it's either one of you or both of you. He said, we're not having that abomination in this family. And he then grabbed my girlfriend, or my ex-girlfriend, by the arm, literally at gunpoint, and dragged her to the car, shoved her in the car, drove her to an abortionist who was willing to do the procedure, and he forced her to abort right at about 6 months. But it absolutely devastated me. I would have nightmares. My son, was essentially murdered, for lack of a better term, or killed, I guess you could say. Hindsight's always 20/20, so beating yourself up about it, and certainly trying to commit suicide and things, that's not gonna ever bring the baby back.